You are listening to From Ring to Veil.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And we are your wedding planning gurus.
We take the stress out
and put the fun back into wedding planning. Wedding Planning Questions, episode number 192.
And we're back to normal. Woohoo! Hope you guys enjoyed Eric.
I thank Eric for taking my place last week because I was like, if it was my explanation, I was on my deathbed, but not really. But I did feel like death. So, yeah.
He was happy to take over because, he likes to talk. So, anyway, back to regularly scheduled programming. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do. Take a screenshot and share it out.
And don't forget about our Facebook group, the From Ring to Veil Wedding Planning Community. You search it on Facebook. You answer a couple questions. We let you in. We talk about wedding planning.
That's right. We still have our Seattle metro area wedding planning resource guide up for sale on Amazon. And you can find it by going to the links from ringtoveil.com/RG paperback or from ringtoveil.com/RG Kindle, or just search on Amazon Wedding Planning Seattle to pop up there for you. We also have our wedding timelines and checklists for you. You just go to from ringtoveil.com/checklists and click there and find out what we have. You'll love it.
So today's episode is all about your questions that you've asked us that we're going to try to answer because they pertain to all of you.
That's right. We thought if some of you are asking the questions, I bet more of you are thinking the questions.
The first question is, can we fire a member of our bridal or groom party? This question is very commonplace.
Yes, it is.
Because I've seen a lot of drama between the bridesmaids and maids of honors and the groom's side and all of this stuff. So, and the quick answer is yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
You do it tastefully and not pettily, and just tell them that, hey, we aren't connecting together or something like that, and just go from there. Give them some reasons. Don't be mean about it.
And, it doesn't even have to be that they're not doing their job or they're causing a lot of strife or, something is they're just causing problems in some way. Mm. It could be that you decide that you no longer really need this person in your wedding party. Maybe you're trying to go save a little bit of the budget by making your wedding party smaller. Let's say at first you asked 10 people to be in your wedding party. Well, maybe at this point you can't really afford to do that. So you have to fire or ask somebody if it's okay if they would step down. So it doesn't always have to be that it's a point of contention. Yeah. It's or a fight or whatever. Right. You can slim down the wedding budget by doing this.
And if they are not doing their job, because it is the bridesmaids and maid of honor's responsibility to help you with this planning process. And if they aren't doing their job, then they're kind of a dead weight on the end.
That's right.
If everybody else is pulling their weight and one's not, that's kind of the cog out of sync there.
You could maybe even make a box for, I'm sorry, I'm unfriending you. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not how it works.
You could do it something really nicely, like take them out to coffee and explain the situation or, something like that, where you don't have to just write them a nasty note and say, you're out of my wedding.
Yeah. And it is okay to have uneven bridal parties. Just let me tell you, you don't have to add someone else to fill that spot. Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you have more groomsmen than bridesmaids, one groomsman will more than likely be proud of walking two women down the aisle. So,
Yeah. Usually they don't mind.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. So the next question, how soon can I reach out to people who haven't RSVPed? And this one also is a very asked question all the time. Mm-hmm. We're seeing it on so many groups and even in our own.
my advice would be to start before the RSVP date. Like, send out an email. Or if your wedding planner is doing this, have her send out an email to everyone that has an RSVP'd and say, hi, we want to inform you that the RSVP date is coming up. We would like to know if you are coming or not, and your choices in the reception, whatever this food is or whatever, have it nicely worded.
Mm-hmm. Nicely worded.
Yeah.
And you depending on how long you give the people for this, I would say halfway through, especially if you're not getting very many, sometimes people just need a little nudge, a little, hey, reminder.
And I am the worst. I forget things. It could be right in front of my face on my desk or anything like that, and I'll forget.
You could also do one of those fun things. Hey, if RSVPs are required to be in by next week, if you don't let me know, you're getting, bring a box lunch
and a
chair.
You're
getting a folding chair, yeah, or a camp chair or something, a stool, or something a little funny like that, without being too harsh, but reminding them you really do need to know what's going on. Are they coming or not?
But then afterwards, yes, you need to keep nudging them because your caterer has an end date that needs a head count. They need to be all in by that time, at least.
And sometimes your floral people will need a head count by a certain point so they'll know how many centerpieces to make. But if you pass that point, you do have to add another table. They just don't get a centerpiece. But there are people that are waiting to know how many people are coming. And people who you've invited, they know you actually need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they're just not getting back to you. Which sucks, but a lot of people are like that. Okay, on to the next one.
Do we need to pay for bridesmaids and groomsmen's flights and rooms?
Well,
the quick answer is no, you do not have to. But if you have the resources, you are welcome to do it. Pay for one or the other, the flights or the rooms, because that would be nice to have. Mm-hmm. Or if you get a discounted rate for a block of rooms at a hotel, it would be great for you to pay for their rooms if they are out of town. I would not pay for in-town guests because they live in town. They don't need to stay at a hotel.
But if everybody else staying at the hotel, they should too. Right. So you don't have to, but it's really nice if you can. Period. Mm-hmm. That's easy. Can we have a no phone, no social media wedding? I think we answered that in episode number 16, how to have an unplugged ceremony and a social reception. So absolutely you can ask for that.
You need to make it known to your guests that your ceremony is social media, no phone, free. Okay? No phone during this. Do not tweet. Do not Instagram. Nothing during this ceremony. And you can even make it as far as 24 hours afterwards. Because, yes, they could take pictures and things at this reception and not post them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you really want to go say, please do not post anything about this wedding for 24 hours. You might need to approve posts or things like that because you don't want to have a drunken picture of you floating around there somewhere. At least I wouldn't.
That's true. And again, you can't approve everybody's stuff, but you certainly can ask them not to do this. Mm-hmm. Even like you said, even 24 hours afterward it's not too bad to ask for. Mm-hmm. You can always ask, but like you were saying, let them know. So I would put it on the invitation or in the invitation package that, hey, just to let you know, we're having an unplugged ceremony. That means no cell phones, no, pictures online or social media postings. We're asking you blah, 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 nicely to say that. But then also at the wedding, I would remind them somehow, either the officiant maybe says something, maybe you have a sign, maybe it's in your program if you're having programs, just so it's front of mind for them to know that you're asking for them not to do this.
Plus, the bride and groom or the couple want you to be present or want their guests to be present at their wedding. Mm-hmm. They don't want you sitting there taking pictures and not paying attention to what's going on, because maybe this ceremony is the gateway to the rest of their life. So they want you to be a part of it. You can't be a part of it with a phone sticking on your eye taking pictures. Mm-hmm. And plus, if you're out in the aisle taking a picture, you're blocking the paid photographers
and videographers
way.
Exactly. Just think, do you want somebody taking a picture of the back of you holding your iPad up? I'm not sure you do. So just be mindful of that. But either way, you can also put that on your wedding website. That's a perfect thing to put up there, so that when you're sharing that out, they have all the information they need right there.
Right.
All right. So somebody wants to know, linens, do you rent or do you buy?
I would rent them. Because I don't want to be stuck with 20 tablecloths.
Yeah.
In my own opinion.
I think that's the absolute best way to do it. But if you find a super good deal, maybe you do buy them and then you try to resell them later. Because there are tons of resale places, groups all over Facebook.
Yeah.
It might be a little hard to get rid of them, but...
But if you rent them, most companies will deliver and come back and pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Most companies, I'm not going to say all, but most companies will deliver their linens on the day of and pick them up either that night after the ceremony or the reception or the next day. Okay. So just that's easy. You don't have to worry about it. It's taken care of.
Everything. Yeah. Everything. Usually the cleaning fee is part of the rental. So you don't have to worry about taking care of any of that before they are picked up.
Yeah. Do I really need to give multiple gifts? According to Emily Post, yes, you do. We have talked about guest etiquette before. And it is, if you're going to multiple events, you need to bring a gift. Yes, it's cumbersome and time consuming and to go out and get all these gifts, but they don't have to be big things.
Right.
You know? But if you are like a host of one and you're going to another, if you have multiple hosts, do a hostess gift, you know, and go combine a gift. And then if you're going to another shower, then get them something small. But yes, you will have to bring a wedding gift. Okay?
Yes. I mean, even if it's a gift certificate or something, you know, of something that they've maybe registered for,
right,
or the places that they've registered, a gift certificate to that place. I mean, they could combine that with whatever else they get to purchase some of the bigger ticket items. So a little something. Yes, absolutely.
And speaking of online registries, have you heard of Zola.com?
They offer wedding registries and wedding websites.
Join over 500,000 couples who have used Zola for their wedding websites and their registries, where you can conveniently manage everything online in one place, and it saves so much time.
As Shannon and I can both attest to, we have set up a registry and a website. It's super easy. It walks you right through it. It's mainly just choose what you want and then input things to personalize it to you and your significant other.
They also have a frequently asked questions section where you can put things like, can I bring my kids? Can I have a +1? You can put those questions in there and answer them.
I know we've mentioned this before, but it's so ingenious. Zola makes it easy because their registry integrates with their website. So everything is in one place. Even if you decide you want to have an unplugged wedding, you can let your guests know right there on that website.
And a great thing about Zola, you can create honeymoon funds, and you can have your guest pick like travel gift cards and things like that you put on your wedding registry so you can go towards your honeymoon.
To start a free wedding website or registry on Zola, go to zola.com/FRTV.
That's Zola, ZOLA.com/FRTV.
All right, so we have some more questions, and this one's an interesting one. So I'm going to try to read this without Anyway, I'm going to read this for you guys. Hi, future wives. I am from Costa Rica, and I'm getting married in February. We aren't going to do any dancing or carnaval or even mariachi, which I guess is part of the Costa Rican traditions. We only want an acoustic rock band and maybe a trio of instruments for the lunch. What other activities can we do? Any ideas? The reception will be held on a terrace in front of the garden.
I'm the worst at activities during structured things like this because I don't like them. But if you're having it in a garden, is there a space where you can have lawn games?
Right.
You can do that. They're fun.
And they're going to have a rock band and trio of instruments. You can still dance to that if you want to, right? Like, I know it's lunch thing, so some people might not be as comfortable dancing at lunch than they would be in the evening. But I still think if there's a little room to dance, people will get up and do that.
Yeah.
Then you have your photo booth, right? That's some kind of a fun little activity. There's always the slideshow. The photo slideshow that you can show photos, and then you're going to have speeches and toasts and things like that. So I know you probably, when you're having this, since it's a lunchtime kind of probably a shorter reception than you would have in the evening, you don't have to fill it up with too many things.
Yeah. I mean, people just like to sit and talk and gab, and maybe they haven't seen each other for years and they reconnected during that, and they just want to sit and get to know each other again. So
That's
you don't
true.
have to have so many activities. You don't have to fill it all up. Because you have food, you have cake, you have the music. Put some
toasts.
Put some lawn games out there if they get bored.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming you don't want them to stay too terribly long.
Yeah.
But I think the second part of this is we are thinking about doing what would be called a cake and champagne reception, but neither of us like champagne. So we're looking for suggestions on another type of alcohol or alcohol that would go well with the dessert table.
Don't like champagne. Have you tasted all champagne? Because
exactly.
Prosecco and like Moscato champagne is awesome.
It's much different from this dry brut.
I don't like the brut and the Astis. Okay. I like Prosecco and I like Moscato. And a fizzy Moscato is delicious.
Well, the Astis are much sweeter.
Yeah.
Where you've got the sweetness of that. And then the brut is just very dry and yucky to me anyway. Yeah. But you're right. You've got all these different options that you can try. And that's really good with cake.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
And rosé all day, man. Rosé.
But then there's also ports, which is a dessert wine. So you could maybe go over to the dessert wines and test some of those and see what you think works best with whatever it is that you've decided your desserts will be. So that's all the questions we have for today.
And as always, if you do have questions for us, you can email us at info@formingtovale.com or message us on Facebook. Even tag us on Instagram.
That's right.
We'll find it.
And if you want to, please join our Facebook group and ask us there. And what's really cool is you ask the question and you get everybody inputting. Your other wedding planning peeps, your vendors that are in there, and even us.
We have FRTV swag available for you. You can go to fromringtovale.com/TEE.
So you guys know that we are releasing a new show every other week until the end of the year. Just so you know, the last show will come out in the mid-December. And then we're going to take our break for the holidays and be with our family and spend time and catch up and things like that. And then we'll come back next year in January. But just so you know, we have a couple of special guests that we recorded with. So you're going to really enjoy those shows. So I just wanted to let you know what to expect from us for the rest of the year.
Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. All of our episodes are on there so you can binge them.
That's right.
Our website also has where you can binge them too. So don't forget that. If you missed some, you know.
That's right. You're welcome for that. I set that up just so you guys can binge. But until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen up. Music provided by bensound.com.